This presentation is for EPICS 151, Fall 2014, the Mountain Language Institute project. We're going to design them a dorm for a half-acre piece of property. Before we get there, let's take a look at this property. And we can see, I'm just using Google Earth here, and I've overlaid the Golden Cities zoning. And we can see that there it says C2, C1, RC. And up here we see the Green Center and the CTLM. And we can come down here and look at the EPICS building. And then we can just fly a little bit south, across the road here, and we see the Safeway. And right across the street from the Safeway is this big more than 1 acre lot. We're going to cut this acre in half, and we're going to take the right side of this, and we're going to pretend like this is the property that we're going to be building in. Right now it's zoned C2 or CC2, and actually what we're going to do is we're going to change it to an R3. So we're assuming that this is going to be all R3. So let's take a look at our site planning. So let's start off with a polygon that basically represents the property that I just showed you. We'll give you the numbers later on. But here we're going to put in the adjacent roads just to give us some texture. We're going to talk about setbacks right now. These are the things that will take the size of your property and restrict it. And what we're looking for is the actual box, the actual size of a box and the location of this box where we can actually build and design our building. So we start off with setbacks against the road. So we know that this line here represents the distance between here and here based on this road and the zoning. Over here we put in this setback. It's from this road and this property line up to here. And then very quickly we put in the setbacks between the property that's adjacent to it and this property that's adjacent to it here. So here's our setbacks, and here is basically the box that we can now begin to design in. Now we can figure out what the size of that box is, and that would be the first thing that you're going to do. But before we get there, let's just take a look at what we can do with this box. So here we have this box here. We'll take out the setbacks now, and we'll go ahead and just pretend like we're putting in a driveway and our parking. So you're going to have to look up what the parking ratios are, but we do this because there we are. We're going to put in our design right here. And that design is going to be based on, the size of this portion of the property, not from the whole property here. Now, let's talk about zoning a little bit. So an R1 zoning, generally in the United States, means that we're going to have a residential piece of property, no matter what the size is of the piece of property. And we're going to have one dwelling on it, or one residential dwelling on it. R2 means that a builder can come in and build two properties adjacent to each other and actually rent these two out and double the size of the density. And R3 is where we have high density, and that is like apartment buildings and things like that. These are all residential. So here's what we want you to do. We want you to look at Google. We just want you to Google City of Golden, Colorado zoning. And you're going to find a whole bunch of stuff there about zoning. So here we have our box again. Let's take a look at this. So now what we want you to do is to find out what the building size is going to be. This is your exercise for today. And we're going to say that this property is 150 by 200 feet. Just like that. We're going to say that the setback against the property to the north, that would be to the west, is 5 foot. We have a 5 foot I drop here. We have 20 foot here and 20 foot here. So you can do the calculations and you can give us the size of this lot right here, and you can actually show us where this is at. So with that size, now you can start figuring out what your spatial attributes are going to be. So you know you're going to have bedrooms. You're going to have bedrooms for 30 or 25 single students, or 20 single students and 5 people in a family. But roughly you're going to have 25 bedrooms. You're going to have an X amount of bathrooms, because we don't know what that number is at this point in time. You're going to have X number of kitchens. That's part of your design. We're going to have some living rooms, some laundry rooms, or at least one laundry room. You're going to have hallways and different types of structures to help you get from one place to the next. You're going to have a porch, probably have a patio. These are all sizes. Now you can go and get the average of these off the internet for dorms. And then what you can do is you can start calculating whether or not you have enough room to actually put a single story building on, or if you need to actually do 2 stories. So do that and we'll be good.